I have a baby. You're okay. You're okay. He's so good. Good morning. Yeah, you getting those biscuits. Is it time for biscuits? It's time for biscuits. Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, November 6th, and tomorrow I'm flying down to Louisiana. We got 2 weekends at the Louisiana Renaissance Festival, along with the 3 student days, and this is going to be it for me for the 2024 circus performing season. I have no shows for the rest of 2024. I am blocking off the rest of 2024 to take some time off and to start working on 2025, and that got me thinking, let's do a video talking about what I want to do in 2025, featuring my cat making some biscuits. Let's get you some purrs real quick. So 2024 was my second full year of doing circus full-time, doing this TikTok thing, YouTube, social media in general thing full-time, and I learned a lot of things. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to look ahead to 2025, see what I still want to do, what do I want to accomplish, what do I want to bring to the table, how do I want to do things differently, what do I want to do the same, and that's kind of where my brain is right now. So I have some goals for 2025, some things I want to do, and I'm going to take you through them in the order that they came to me as I wrote some notes earlier this morning. The number one thing for me is I want to cut the number of weeks and weekends that I am on the road away from this child who's now burrowing. Oh, Scipio. And I don't want to cut it a whole lot. I still want to be on the road a good chunk of the year, but I do want to cut it down from the 28 or 29 weekends I did this year down to maybe something more like 24. I want to do a few fewer weekends at Renaissance fairs for a couple of reasons. The main one being that doing more Renaissance fairs limits my ability to get to different parts of the country, so that different people can see my show. Shout out to my Ohio people who I've been trying to get to you guys at some point soon. It's tough. The whole Midwest area has been a tough spot for me to hit with my Renaissance Fair circuit schedule, and that becomes kind of the problem with the Renaissance Fair industry in general, which is that you build relationships with shows, whether it's the Colorado Ren Fest, Maryland, all these places where you get comfortable there, they want to bring you back, you want to go back, but it just means I'm seeing the same people over and over and over again. And I get so many emails from folks in Ohio, Minnesota, Wisconsin, who are like, I want to see your show, but you don't perform at any of the Ren fairs around me. And that's because the Ren fairs don't line up with my show schedule that I have. So one of my goals for 2025 is I want to do more theater shows. I want to do more shows on the road with Cess, where we do either a comedy club, theater somewhere, a nightclub, a city winery, whatever it may be, where we can do 1 or 2 shows in different markets so that more and more people can see our shows. This year, I think I hit 10 states-ish on my touring schedule. Next year, I want that to be more like 15 or 20, including a lot of states that I haven't been to before, whether it's Alaska, whether it's Alabama, whether it's California, Oregon, all of the Midwest. There's a lot of the country that I haven't hit yet, and that I would like all of you to be able to see the show, because I see you guys in the comments. I see you guys in the emails. We're trying to make sure that we can get to your show. Basically, right now, save the date for some point in March. I'm hoping we can get to you guys in that time frame. The other thing I want to work on is I also want to start working on some new material. Some of the material I am doing is material I was doing back in 2008. The first year I started Jacques Whipper. Now, granted, it's been polished since then. It's changed. It's morphed. There have been jokes added. There have been jokes cut. But some of the material remains the same. And I have 2 shows now, one written in 2008, one written in 2022. But I want to start changing things up just a little bit. For folks who have seen the show before, there's still something new for you to come back to. That's a longer process. That's going to be all of this year, hopefully with the eye towards getting maybe an entire new show by the fall, but that's going to be a tall order. I wanted to do that this year, but what I found was the time that I was in Colorado, which I had kind of set aside as rehearsal time, work on new material time, I found I was so busy I had no time to start working on this new material. That's another reason why I want to do a few fewer weekends on the road, so that I have a little bit more time to do the things that I want to do while also still having the energy to rehearse new material, work on new material, so on and so forth. And speaking of the things that I want to do, there are two things that I want to do. Number one is I want to get in better shape. So this happens to me every single circus season, which is I will start the year in great shape. February, March, I'm weighing in at like 6'1", 190 pounds. Feeling good. And by the time I get home from the tour in the fall, I'm closer to 6'1", 180 pounds. Basically, I just lose all the muscle I gain over the winter over the course of the season. So right now I'm getting back into my whipping shape and my playing shape, because I use this for baseball as well. Changing my workouts a little bit to kind of target some of the muscles that start to wear on me as the season goes on. Shout out to the lower back, shout out to the knees, shout out to the right shoulder. Basically getting all of those just a little bit stronger, and hopefully in such a way that I can keep the workouts up during the circus season, not working out the same way, but still in decent enough shape that I can do what I want to do pain-free, because as I enter my late 30s, that is becoming increasingly a difficult thing to do. Children, you will get old someday. Aside from that is I also want to start exploring the idea of non-Jacques Whipper shows. I want to find ways to perform, to be on stage, to entertain people that does not require me drawing on a mustache and a whip. Now, don't worry, Jacques Whipper isn't going anywhere. That's going to be the bread and butter for a long, long time. But I had the chance a couple of weeks ago to perform in Nassim, which is a one-man play, essentially where the performer, me in this case, gets the script on stage that night, and it's a different performer every single night. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that, and it was a chance for me to flex some slightly different muscles than what I normally do in the show, and I want to find ways that I can be on stage in ways that don't require me to draw on a mustache, crack some whips, and sing some silly songs. Although, I mean, singing songs is still fine. But I want to find different ways to perform, and I'm looking into that. We have some ideas. We're looking at a few things, especially for the first half of 2025, that may work out, and I'm very excited for, but we'll see. Stay tuned on all of those options. And then last but not least, for 2025, what I want to do is I want to just kind of fix the work-life balance. So I went on the road in basically mid-May, and I didn't get home from being on the road, with any kind of consistency until the end of September. And really, if we're being honest, if you factor in work trips and vacation trips after that, I wasn't really home until like late October. And so I want to make sure that, I actually have time to be home, to relax, to sleep in my own bed. I'm so sick of hotel room beds, to be very honest with you. Some time at home, some time to spend with my son, my child, my Scipio. He's such a good little boy. But I missed him a lot this year, and he missed us a lot this year. I want to find ways that 20 weekends, essentially in a row this summer, doesn't happen. Because what happened this summer, we started in New Jersey, went to Colorado, went to Seattle, and then we had 6 weeks in Maryland. It was just constant travel from mid-May until the end of September. And I want to make sure that this year that stretches a little bit shorter, and ideally there's a break or two built into the run. Now, I do plan on still hitting pretty much every place that I hit last year. So if I was in your neck of the woods last year and you didn't get to see me, don't worry. I should be back at some point this year. I might be back on a shorter run, but I am hoping to be back at pretty much everywhere I performed in 2024, in 2025. But yeah, I'm back home now, and I've got a couple of months before we have any shows. But so what am I going to do with the next couple of months? That's a great question. Beyond getting back into shape, I'm going to spend time with my cat. Oh God, he slobbered all over that spot. I'm going to play some video games. I'm going to stream on Twitch. Maybe I'll stream on YouTube once or twice, but Twitch is where I do most of my streaming. And otherwise, just rest, relax, recuperate, make sure that I'm eating well, working out, just get healthy for next year, and also start working on some new material. So that's a little sneak peek into what we're working on, what we're looking at. If you're wondering where I'm going to be, if the show is confirmed, if the contract is signed, it is on my website, jackthewhipper.com. I also put my schedule for like the next few months at the end of every single whip song video, every short, every TikTok, Instagram. If there's a whip song in there, the schedule's at the end. Just watch to the end. So, cheers.
Toss a coin to your whipper, or maybe a 20, or maybe a 20.